happening?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Nice to see you.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
it's a
too.
sick office.
Thank you. Yeah, the studio. Welcome to my home, man.
Yeah, awesome.
It's been a while, dude. It's been a while. How you been?
It has. I've been good. Just fucking around, raising kids, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just excited for the new year and all the kind of shit. What have you been up to?
Yeah, I don't have the kids, but just doing the radio thing, man. Keeping busy with that. There's a lot going on right now. We're obviously in the new year and stuff, so we're doing this kind of cool feature. That's why I thought of hitting you up. I'm like, I'm gonna text Gates and see if he'll help me out with this. But we're
Yeah,
featuring the 25 most iconic guitarists, guys that help build rock music. And trust me, we know there's more than 25 iconic guitarists out there, but we're
right.
just having fun with this. And you're on that list, my friend. So
No, that's beautiful. I appreciate it.
yeah, when you see those rankings and stuff, obviously that's been around your whole career. It seems like, I saw like ninth guitar world's best metal guitarist of all time, like ranked number 9 and stuff. Does that stuff matter to you? Do you really like, you don't care, or when you see
I
stuff
don't
like
know
that?
that I don't care. I mean, it's like I watch a lot of sports, and
Hmm.
I think the championship is like those are kind of like MVP stats and cool things like that. So yeah, it's cool, but it's all about bringing a championship home, and
Yeah, I
and
like
that
that.
and
I
that
like that.
comes that comes with killer tours and music and things like that. So it's to me it's all about the team
Sure.
W's to further the analogy along,
Yeah,
but
no, I
I'm
totally get
not
that.
saying that it goes unnoticed or unappreciated. It certainly is.
So I know I can look a lot of this stuff up on Wiki and whatever, but I got you here, so I figured I'd just ask
Yeah,
you these
don't fuck
questions
around
about
with that stuff. Yeah.
totally. Just go all the way back to the roots here. So, when did you first pick up a guitar? How old were you?
Um, before I can even remember, but I started playing it, I guess, sort of correctly, and at least like putting my finger on a string and strumming when I was 6.
Okay.
My first real song, I think, was Black Dog by Led Zeppelin, and that was when I was 9.
Okay.
So relatively early, but you got kids that are fucking doing crazy shit at 2 years old, and
Yeah.
I was definitely not that. I was definitely a later bloomer as far as you know, passionate players or passionate doing anything.
Would
It
that have
started
to
pretty
do
young with this.
with your dad though? I mean, because you're obviously your dad playing and stuff. You had to have that kind of music around the house growing up all the time.
Yeah. So my dad did um, things things very right as
Okay.
far as getting a kid to play. So you can't force shit down your sorry force stuff down your kid's throat.
Hmm.
He did not. It was always there. He was always available, but he also didn't want to teach me too technically difficult stuff. He had certain things that he was willing to do and certain things that he wasn't, and so it drove me absolutely mad that he didn't want to teach me Black Dog. So I started kind of learning on myself, and
Okay.
then finally convinced him to teach me some stuff like that. But he didn't sit down and teach me all the stuff that I know today. I struggled very arduously
Yeah.
very many years, but his influence and his support was always there. Just an extremely supportive human being.
That's rad, man. I mean, it's great to have that kind of support from a young age too. And again, I love the here. I'll give you some nuggets, but you got to take this and run with it if you really want to do it. I think he wanted to see that you were passionate about it, to make sure that it
For
was real.
sure. For sure. Yeah, he didn't want to bum me out. He's very aware of those types of things. So I think he played his cards perfectly.
What was the first guitar you ever purchased?
Oh, that I ever purchased.
Hmm.
Damn. Well, I stole a Les Paul
What do
when
you
I
mean you
was
stole
when I
one?
was 8, when I was 20. Well, so I had insanely supportive parents, and it wasn't like they bought me a fuck ton of guitars, but I got a guitar when I was 16. I got an Ibanez, my dream Ibanez. Like, it wasn't a Steve Vai model, but it was the shreddier sort of stuff that Steve Vai was a huge influence, and it
Sure.
sounded like Pantera to me and all this stuff.
Right.
So that's what I wanted to do. So I got an Ibanez for Christmas, I think it took my birthday money and Christmas money to get that guitar. And then when I graduated from music school, which was only fucking 6 months of music school, my mom so beautifully bought me a second guitar. That was a Parker Fly, which completely upended the hardcore music industry, the huge industry that is metalcore and hardcore.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to see anybody playing a plastic guitar, you know.
Right.
And I just wanted to do anything to piss off the scene at the time. So that's what it
Sure.
was. But then when we recorded our first music video for Unholy Confessions, they gave me a Les Paul and loaner. I was trying to get signed by Les Paul,
All right.
and they wanted the guitar back. I was like, nah, it's fucking in a music video, and I'm not giving it back, and I'm not paying full price for this thing. So
Yeah.
I kept it. And because of that, I wasn't signed by Les Paul. And it was fortuitous because Schecter, we're coming up on 20 years of Schecter
Right.
this year, which is pretty incredible. Their family and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if I've ever bought a guitar, or maybe
Okay.
maybe it was my gypsy jazz guitar that I bought like 10 years ago or something like that. But yeah, I've been very fortunate to have supportive family.
Would you have a totally different sound then if you were playing a Les Paul? I mean, would your sound be different? Everything.
Yeah, probably would. I mean, it just forces you to play differently.
Right.
Les Pauls now have, like, I need the two extra frets. They don't always come equipped with a Les Paul. I mean, a whammy bar, although you can do it, but I don't know how great it is. As far as, like, you know, Floyd Rose tremolo stuff, you can just throw it all over the place and it stays in tune. It's good.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's a great question. I think undoubtedly the sound would be much different. Probably just be a soft core rock band, you know.
Yeah, of course it would be. So you've been doing this for decades now, man. What I don't know, how do you keep yourself, you know, in shape? How do you keep your game strong? How do you stay creative? How do you do that day after day?
You know, I've been very fortunate that I don't have to do anything but have a couple of martinis. I promised my body a couple of martinis, you know, a month.
You're bullshitting me.
It takes for a week, and that keeps the creative spirit alive and the joints lubed up and all the different shit. But I'm just lucky I don't have, you know, I eat well. I do like everything so I can kind of party with my wife and party with my friends.
Sure.
The drinking hasn't calmed down. Maybe it has, like, in between sessions and stuff like that. And I do like liver cleanses and old people shit at this moment. But yeah, I mean, I'm just lucky that there's no inflammation. There's no big issues, you know, and you can't burn the candle at both ends for forever, you know, with kids and different things. It's like bedtime's important. Drinking less is important.
Sure,
Being mentally stable is important, all that kind of shit. But loving life is equally as important. And I love living life to the max. And that's usually where, if I'm happy, I'm great in a writing session. I'm great in the studio.
Sure.
I'm super productive. I don't need the emotional turmoil. I need to be sad and depressed. I'm not that guy. Give me fucking happiness, 8 hours of sleep, and a fuck ton of coffee, and I'll do some serious damage, you know? But
I like it. That works, man.
We'll see what happens in the future, though.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So on stage, though, have you ever run into a moment, because you play a lot of songs, man, and a lot of stuff's got to be played really, really fast. Have you ever had a moment where you've just had a brain block, forgotten how to play it one part? Has that ever happened? I've always wondered, because I watch you, man. Like, I'm looking at your fingers like, yeah, no. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it. Yeah, there's all sorts of weird shit that happens on stage, you know, like anxiety if I, you know, was overdoing it the night before.
Sure.
But I'm a pretty tenacious dude. I practice a lot. I warm up a lot before.
So that's all like muscle memory then, right? When you're practicing all the time, when you're playing these same notes, when you're rehearsing all the time, muscle memory. You can almost eyes closed kind of a thing. It's just automatic.
100%. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Like it's not a mystery. I mean, I don't fucking pretend to not try on stage. Like, we believe in a big rock performance. We believe in moving around. If it was fucking Nerd Alert time, like, the guitar would be higher. There'd be no fucking beer on the amps. Like
Sure,
we just fucking execute. But people
Yeah.
heard the record, you know. And
Mhm.
if you don't think I could play it, I don't give a fuck,
Right.
you know. And I'm doing a pretty decent job of executing live. But I also
Sure.
want to have fun and put on a fucking show and connect with the
Yeah.
audience. And if you're not making eye contact and you're not, I mean, there's so much energy there. And if
Oh
you're
yeah.
fucking in your own little bubble to play perfectly, then that sucks, you know.
Absolutely.
Or maybe it's great for the right band. I don't know. I hate to disparage, but for me, it sucks. I'd rather fuck up everything and have that high of like the contact with the fans and
Yeah.
not letting those things go by, you know, and not being like, wow, that was fucking 20,000 people, 100,000 people going crazy for us, and I was just too busy fucking working out the perfect execution of a fucking stupid solo.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy.
How important is it to you to, as you do get older and you evolve as a musician, to, I don't know, even take the music that you're writing and make sure that that's evolving as well, that we're hearing not just the same thing you've done before, that, hey, this isn't a new me, but this is something new I'm doing, and check it out. You know, how do you make sure that that's prevalent?
Yeah, you got to constantly evolve, or it's if you're trying to write, if I'm trying to write Backcountry again, or if I'm trying to write Unholy Confessions again, I've failed before I've even started.
Sure.
That's not the mindset. So
Yeah.
you got to switch things up, and our catalog, I think, is proof of that. You have a song like Unholy Confessions. You also have a song like Little Piece of Heaven.
Yeah.
That's a fan favorite that has hardly any guitar, and it's just complete devotion to, you know, our brothers' unbelievable and unique imagination. and that's to me the most important thing. It's probably our best song, and it's very, very little guitar work. So to me, it's songwriting first and then connecting with your fan base.
Sure. So, do you have favorites? I'm sure you do. Many favorites that maybe you pull from, or just ones that you always kind of, you know, in your own time want to listen to, just for maybe inspiration, or just because you enjoy it. Guitarists out there that really inspire you.
Guitarist, you know, this day and age, I when I was 34 years old,
The whole,
so
what,
we're talking
6
about the
years
future,
ago?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So when I was 34 years old, so when I was 30, I picked up a gypsy jazz guitar for the first time, and I didn't put it down. And I had people around me that were like, well, why don't you put that much time into electric guitar? And I was like, well, this is going to inform my electric guitar of how to play. And I was somewhat right, and they were right as well. And so 4 years after that, when I was 34, I went fucking berserk and listened to and downloaded, absorbed, just consumed mass amounts of guitar nerd content. And I did that for a few years there, where I was literally playing. I had a guitar in hand, even when I was on the road, a guitar in hand from the minute I woke up till I went on show and or went to bed. I
Sure.
for fucking years. And
Mhm.
that's why I created my school subsequent to that, because I went down gnarly rabbit holes online, just trying to get my hands on every piece of technique, every piece of theory, every piece of like songwriting and stuff. It was all very much from songwriting, but always very important to me. Like, what were the Beatles doing, and why is their harmony so complex, but the sea is so calm above? Or maybe it's a bad analogy, but you know what I mean. It's like just the most
I do.
complex shit in the fucking world,
Mhm.
but they're singing, you know, Penny
Love
Lane,
me do. Yeah.
love
Yeah.
me do. Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
exactly. And you're like, what's happening underneath that is so fucking crazy and complex. I just needed to understand that, and then understand the complex over the complex, whether it's fucking Stravinsky or, you know, Penderecki or fucking Chopin, whatever it might be. I went fucking nuts, and I didn't stop playing guitar for 3 years. And since then, I check in, and it's not like I can play all this stuff. I'm not saying I'm technically as good as so and so and so, or I know this like so and so and so. But when I check in, I don't see anything that I'm going like, oh, I'm missing out on this brand new
Mm.
piece of technical wizardry.
Sure.
I'm not seeing that. And it could change. But I'm really into tone and textures and songwriting, and that's where I've really spent most of my time, studying greats like Kanye, the Beatles, Elton John, even old school Dre stuff that actually
Wow.
has guitars in there and communicates well to a guitar player because it's fucking guitar.
And you're not only
Um,
talking guitars, by the way, right? I mean, you're talking sonically,
so
everything that's in that.
everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we arrange everything as a band. We write everything as a band, and more so this day and age than ever before. So everything from songwriting to harmonic evolutions and crazy
Sure.
deep harmony while we're singing lullabies over it, to actually arranging, 72-piece orchestras and different things like that ourselves, writing every note for every single instrument, every inflection for every single instrument. All that stuff is very, very important to me and to our band. And that's what takes up a lot of my time now. It's not actually going, wow, that crazy two-handed like tapping thing is something I gotta fucking spend a
Right.
year on. And maybe that'll change. Maybe I'll see some great reinvention of the guitar, and I'll go back to work as a technician.
Sure.
But right now, I only care about writing and arranging the most unique music possible.
That's awesome, man. The school, you mentioned the school. Talk a little bit more about that. What was the motivation for getting that school rolling? Plug it if you would too, so people can know where to go once they're checking this video out, man.
Yeah. So we're under renovation right now, and it's it's a free school, so it's not, I'm not trying to do a gratuitous plug here, but yeah, it's really stemmed from that rabbit hole. Once I figured out kind of how to teach, which I never thought about teaching,
Sure.
and the fact that between my dad and myself, we had been in and out of a big number of studios and stages, whether we're in a studio for another, like he did a lot of session work for people. He did comedies. I mean, the scope of which he's
a performer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's a large scope of performance
and thankfully he's a nice guy, by the way, dude. I met him I met him when he was in Minneapolis. He's a good guy. He's not a jerk.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No. I mean, he's nuts,
yeah.
But aren't we all? And,
yeah, totally.
And
totally.
beautifully so.
Yeah.
Which makes him a great teacher. He doesn't sugarcoat stuff. He doesn't. It's just like this is gonna fuck you up if you do it like this, And he's funny as shit too. And but with all of our experiences combined, we just and that understanding of educational content on YouTube, and how it's just completely thrown all over the place and curated very poorly, even to this day. I wanted to create something a little bit different. We still got a long ways to go. We're cutting out a lot of fat right now. We are going to minimize, instead of like spent millions of dollars on fucking tech. Like, got to have a streaming this. I got to have this. It has to have an app. It doesn't have to have all that fucking horse shit. All it needs to do is keep a guitar in somebody's hands, and get them evolving at a faster rate than they could on YouTube or on different places, or even with a one-on-one person, because it's how you're just going to find somebody in your area or somebody online. Like this is a community of people to help you learn and grow in a concentrated, highly curated form, which is different for everybody. And so that's the goal there. I don't see it being done anywhere else. You see other places and it's like, here's 3 videos and it's 25 minutes of content, pay this. And you're not going to learn how fucking Martin, it's unquantifiable, his soul anyway. And to sell that kind of fucking sucks to me. And especially in like 3 or 4 videos or even 5 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have hundreds of videos and it barely scratches the surface. It's all about user generated content. So finally, it's going to be user generated at the end of the day. It's going to be people teaching Avenged Sevenfold songs in ways that I could never do it. We're going to be releasing videos later this year.
Okay.
An amazing friend of mine, great player, Hector Trejo, has analyzed not just the solos and learned how to play a solo, which is what everybody teaches. But what the fuck is the harmony doing under that? What are the chord changes doing under that? How is it arranged? What was I thinking? So he's interviewed me on these and stuff like that. It's just been an amazing experience. So we're just trying to do it different and hopefully better.
What's the name of the school? So if people want to check it out, I mean, obviously you said it's down right now, but it'll be back up soon. More
Well,
with
you can still it's still up, but we're definitely revising a lot of stuff. Like so, there's not like huge amounts of engagement. We're just figuring this stuff out. It's called Synner with a Y, SYNNER.com, and a lot of great videos. All the basic techniques that I use for all of my solos, I have done, and it's all transcribed with the video and cool technology called Sound Slice,
yeah.
um, which tracks your playing. It's me playing from the neck down. So you don't see fucking hungover, bloated face. And it's just yeah. You just don't want to distract. You don't want to distract the ladies here. It's
Yeah.
fucking it's just all about like what my hands are doing, how I'm executing this stuff, and it's my basic. Like you want to tap like me across the entire catalog. Here's all my foundational tapping things. You can evolve them yourself, and there's community members to explain how to do. But the basic stuff is there technically on what I do. My dad has an encyclopedia of about 200 books of like basic theory, and we'll be getting into advanced theory, and then we're going to have the kids who are from all levels. This is the most important thing, from beginners, especially beginners. Like, how did you learn how to play that super difficult solo? And well, I stumbled upon this, and this, and
Gotcha.
share those experiences.
Sure.
Because I don't know how to teach a fucking beginner. I've long lost my eureka moments of the first couple of years I've been playing.
Sure.
But these beginners, star beginners, are having their eureka moments and excelling. And so we're putting a spotlight on that. So it's going to be highly UGC, and not just, oh, I've been playing for 20 years. Come check out my shit. No, I've been playing for 2 minutes, and I learned how to do something pretty incredible. Here's how I did it.
Sure. So my nephew Dylan, for Christmas, I gave him a guitar. And he's all geeked about it. He's been taking some lessons. His girlfriend plays, so he's all excited. He told me next year for Christmas, he's like, well, I'm going to play something for Christmas. You need to play something. I'm like, well, you've got your girlfriend teaching you. I've got Synyster Gates probably going to be able to help me. So that's the route I'm going to go. Because I'm in. Need the help, man. But, you know, like you said, though. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. So, okay. You know, we talked about some. Can you be specific, though, like some musical influences, like guitar? I know, like you said, like,
man, I mean,
classics and stuff, but like good rock gods, you know?
Yeah, rock gods. I mean, Jimi Hendrix, Quarterly, most especially, what he was doing with his chords at that time, taking R&B and infusing that with rock was just absolutely legendary. I mean, George Harrison is super underrated. I mean, that guy can write as great a melodic solo as any of his actual melodies in his greatest tunes. An absolute freak. And I think a lot of people know that like Slash changed my life as far as like actual note choice and tone. Like that's incredible. Dimebag Darrell, if I could play like anybody, it would probably be Dime. That's just the thrashiest, most fucked up raping and pillaging of an instrument I've ever heard. It's just it's so beautiful. How he just mastered this feel, and just you can't sound like him no matter how hard you try. Truly. Impossible.
How do you
the older I get, go
ahead.
So I'll finish with Van Halen.
Oh yeah.
Once he passed, unfortunately, it took me a sec to kind of revisit some stuff. So I wasn't the biggest Van Halen fan as a band, because I guess the songwriting didn't speak to me as much. But my good God, like that's the godfather of rock and roll, or certainly metal. If there is one. I mean, how he just, the art of guitar was this, and he just fucking skipped like 10 lines and went 50 years into the future in a single breath. I've never seen anything done like that since Django Reinhardt, the godfather of gypsy jazz. Freaks. What he was doing in the 30s and what Van Halen was doing in the 80s.
Right.
Freak shit.
Yeah, and you're right too. I mean, Dime is breathtaking. Just fast forwarding back to Dime there for a sec, I still listen to every bit of that over and over, and just, you know, my mind's like, how did he do that? Or just, it moves you. It does. It definitely moves you. There's something about that style of playing that just like, you're in it. So, you know, you were talking too about, you know, how important it is for you to be doing more. You can't be doing backcountry again. You got to be coming up with something new. Are you excited for this next chapter of just the playing for you and Zachy on this next record to come? Are you excited for what you guys have laid down? Like you're pumped for the world to hear it, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I'm pumped for a lot of things. in the future
Sure.
right now. I mean, you get to a point where we're very lucky to be in that legacy status, where
Yeah.
it comes with age. Unfortunately, you
Sure.
got to age, but we put in a lot of time and work and dedication to our fans, and it's just it's a really incredible experience to
Mhm.
be in the beginning, the nascent period of kind of legacy band status. I mean, we get a lot of shit because we haven't released some stuff in a long time, but
Yeah.
I know the offers that are coming down the pipe for all these shows. It's
Sure.
it's freakish. It's
You're
yeah, it's
excited
like
for that, I'm sure.
it's next level. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's well, that's that. If you, I was just having a conversation with a friend. If you put your heart and soul into your art and you're not trying to sound like anybody else, like the money comes. But if you're
Yeah.
focused on money and you're focused on certain things, like it all starts with the art, and then second to that is your connection with your fan base. That's it. And if you're not 110% committed to those things, then you're fucked. You might make a
Yeah.
little money here and there. So fortunately, I've never had to worry about money,
Right.
and the money's good,
Yeah.
and so fucking life is good, right?
Yeah.
Make the art you want. Family's healthy. Knock on wood.
Right. Right.
We're not over the hill just yet. We're getting over the hill type of fucking offers for over the hill headlining spots and different things like that.
Sure.
Like it's just a wonderful time in our career.
Are you going to be
everything
nervous,
is on
dude?
our terms.
Are you going to be nervous getting back on stage after a while?
I wish. I hope. I fucking hope.
Really?
That's
Just makes you feel
yeah,
alive.
yeah, for sure. I mean, there's just so much to do that by the time the show hits,
Yeah.
like I'm thinking about execution until I'm connecting with the fan base, and then in the
Sure.
audience, and then I'm lost in
Yeah.
unbelievable amounts of energy. So I don't remember a time where I was ever nervous. I've had
Really?
yeah, I've been very, very fortunate that I don't have nerves of steel. I certainly don't have that, but whether it's just has escaped me that there's an opportunity to worry about anything, as far as live playing and shit like that is concerned, it's just not there.
Right. So lastly, dude, because I don't want to keep you too long, and I
No
know
worries.
it's important. I'm not going to ask you about the new Avenged stuff. That's just I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited just like everybody else, but I know I'll probably will be one of the first to hear some of that stuff. So I'm excited for that. But if you could interview one of your guitar heroes, alive or past, who would it be and why?
My God.
And that again is keeping with this whole feature, 25 most iconic guitarists, you being one of them. So just bringing it, around so
Yeah.
people kind of get it. Why I'm asking just guitar questions here. That's what's up.
I mean, it's I guess I think the person I'd get the most out of would probably be Jimmy Page, because he produced, he wrote, he did. If I like, he's not my favorite guitar player from a note choice, although he's one of them.
Yeah.
He's certainly my favorite guitar player from a songwriter and production standpoint. And any guy rocking out on a Les Paul is good by me.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. And I think if I could pick his brain, I'd probably get the most out of it. But I don't know if you're very familiar with Django Reinhardt, but you should check some stuff of his out. The earlier stuff when he's just shredding on an acoustic guitar. He has two fingers. These were fused together in a fire. So he's just with two fucking feet. It's just gnarly. And I mean, it's not just like fumbling around and playing kind of fast. It is executed so perfectly. You would think it was written in a computer on MIDI, like this day and age or something like that. It's pretty mind blowing. So I'd love something like that. But if I just wanted to hang out, it would have to be Dime. Like,
Oh yeah, dude.
So if I had to pick one, like probably Dime.
Did you get to
Like
spend some time with him at all?
I never did.
Really?
Before we started really touring, he passed away, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
But we spent a lot of time with Vinny, and just an incredible guy. And we got some Dime stories.
Yeah.
Got to hang at his house before That whole thing was botched, unfortunately.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, there's a connection there, but unfortunately, I never got to meet probably my hands down overall favorite guitar player.
I went to a shooting range with him one time. We shot guns all day.
Wow.
And he always had, black cat fireworks on him, and he was always throwing it and shit like that. And so we were hanging out all day long. And towards the end of the day, we were dropping them off at their hotel. They were opening up for Sabbath that night at like Target Center, downtown Minneapolis. And I had this little recorder with me that I wanted to lay down like, hey, yo, it's Dimebag, you're listening to Pablo and blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't get the damn thing to work. It wouldn't, whatever, just get it. So he took it out of my hand. He was just a gadget guy. And you were just like, push button, boom, boom. There you go, man. Hand it back to me, like it just,
crazy.
Just such a cool, amazing human. Like, he had a big heart. So anyways, I got a couple stories with him, but yeah, he's a good dude. By the way, so, that acoustic you gave me a few years ago, I haven't been playing that, dude. So just so you know, and then I got that amp that you gave me as well too. So I'm playing, and I'm gonna use your school, for sure. So others out there watching this, you definitely got to check out Gates' school. It's insanely cool and helpful and user friendly. It's awesome for the beginner, the moderate, and then the advanced. So
a lot of shit on it. A lot of good people too. Ask for help. It's the number one key. Ask for help. Don't be shy.
Dude, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it so much.
Pleasure.
I can't wait to see you very soon. Yeah, dude. Thank you very much, man. And keep in touch, my friend. I'll see you very, very soon.
Yeah, can't fucking wait.
All right, brother. Be well, dude.
Support.
Later.
You too. Talk to you soon.